Arirang Prime.
New York City, the trendsetter of the world's economy, culture, and fashion. This stylish, vibrant city is also the battleground of world cuisines that target the hearts and palates of New Yorkers. And jumping into this battle is a new contender, Korean cuisine.
Oh, it's so good. It's like a party in my mouth. What are you doing here?
Very good.
Armed with unique tastes and smart marketing strategies, Korean food has begun its delicious invasion of New York. The Delicious Invasion, a new wave of Korean food in New York. The global agricultural and food markets pull in $5 trillion each year. The growth of the food industry in particular is instrumental in the development of national brands. Korean food displayed its potential for globalization when Korea was ranked as the 6th strongest national brand in the fine dining category of Future Brand's 2009 Country Brand Index. The Korean government has rolled up its sleeves to support globalization of Korean cuisine to the fullest.
인프라 구축을 위해서 국내에는 민간 한식 세계화 전문 기구인 한식재단을 설립했고 해외에서는 뉴욕, 상해, 동경 등 6개국 9개 도시에 한식당 협의체를 구축해서 한식 세계화의 거점 역할을 하도록 하고 있습니다.
However, Korean cuisine is a relative latecomer to the global food war. Amid the efforts of the government, organizations, restaurants, and individuals to raise awareness of Korean food, something unexpected happened. Jean Georges Vongerichten, considered the world's top chef by PBS, and his wife Marja. They came together with Hollywood stars Heather Graham and Hugh Jackman in Kimchi Chronicles, a 13-part documentary. Kimchi Chronicles introduces Korean food and culture to its viewers. Is this program the evidence of the growing recognition of Korean cuisine in the global scene? This is Korean Street, located on 32nd Street of New York. The street, lined with Korean restaurants, is like a small replica of an ordinary street in Seoul. It's lunchtime, and the restaurants are packed. Why do customers seek out Korean food?
I'm from Indonesia. I like spicy, and Korean food suits me.
I studied in Korea for 2 years. I like Korean food a lot.
비포에 밥 2개만 더 주세요. C4는 카드 안 들었어요. 154불인데.
점심시간에 혹시 몇 분 정도 나오시는 것 같아요?
테이블은 항상 노란색 모르겠어요. 이거 다야. 시원한 사람을 좋아하지.
But a closer look around the restaurant reveals that most of the customers are Korean.
한국 분들이 70%까지는 안 돼요. 네.
Ethnic Koreans are still the main consumers of Korean cuisine. However, the situation is different at a Japanese restaurant located on a New York street famous for its fine dining. Here, it is hard to find a Japanese face in the crowd. The main menu here is sushi, the quintessential Japanese food. New Yorkers have long been familiar with Japanese food.
It's a special celebration. It's a rare thing to have. We don't cook this way at home, so to go out to a restaurant and enjoy sushi is a special treat.
Positive mood, for a relaxing environment and wonderful food.
I'm looking for some great company with my lovely husband and some excellent sushi, some of the best in New York.
What about Korean food?
Wehayo Korea. Korean barbecues are on like 35th Street, right off of like 6th Avenue or something. So we've gone to those barbecues. I think we just try to get a variety where we enjoy both, and it may not be a mood per se as much as just a interest in a different taste.
On weekends, eating out means more than just a meal to New Yorkers who seek to reward themselves for the week of hard work. How do they decide which restaurant to visit?
In Times Square. I hate going to Times
No,
Square.
it's not Times Square. It's on 40th and 9, actually.
Okay, I've got the Zagat app. Look and see what Zagat says.
Great.
Zagat is a restaurant survey that rates the food, atmosphere, and service of restaurants.
Again, we use Zagat and Yelp. That'd help a lot. We usually go for the rating, so the high rating, so it's better food, I guess.
And two, you can read people's comments.
Yeah,
so if you read people's comments, then you can kind of figure out if they are similar to you. They might have had different opinions.
Yeah.
Zagat enjoys the trust of all New York, and restaurants that are listed in its pages are not shy about advertising that fact on their store windows. Zagat is a common reference for anyone looking for a good meal in New York and can be easily found in a bookstore next to the travel guides. We open up the 2011 Zagat for New York City to see how Korean restaurants are faring.
If you look at the top food, the highest rating is 30. So the top rating from 29 to 26, it looks like there's Japanese food, Japanese restaurants.
50 restaurants in New York had made it to the top class. 5 Japanese restaurants and 1 Thai restaurant joined the ranks of French and Italian restaurants, but not a single Korean restaurant could be seen.
So if you look at this page, this is Japanese and Korean. See, Japanese starts from here to over there. So it's like almost like one page, but then Korean is maybe not even a quarter of it. So obviously there are more Japanese restaurants with higher ratings.
There was an even more obvious difference. 95 Japanese restaurants were in the ratings compared with only 15 Korean restaurants. We visited Nina Zagat, the publisher of the survey, to find out why. The Zagat couple began publishing Zagat in 1979. As a survey created by common people, food recognition plays a crucial role in the results.
It's the taste. It's what they think of the food that they ate. And it may be partly that people have eaten so much more Japanese food, they're more tuned in to the qualities of Japanese food. The interest in Japanese food has really exploded.
Thank you, Sid.
Gary has been running a Japanese restaurant in New York for over 30 years. He has personally watched the progress of Japanese food in the American society.
1978年にニューヨークに来て、最初はやっぱりそのお客さん自体が巻物っていうことで、カリフォルニアロールっていうのがこのカリフォルニアの方で出され提供され、アボカドを使ったお寿司っていうことで、巻物ですけど、それがやっぱり大きな原因であると私はそれは思ってますね、やはり。
The idea of adapting sushi to rolls to accommodate the American palate was a pure triumph. People became more interested in Japanese cuisine, and today, it is rare to find someone who has never heard of sushi.
今ニューヨークって、そのマンハッタンに限って言えばもうお寿司っていうのはおそらく80から 90% のアメリカ人が寿司に名前は聞いて食べたことはないにしろ名前は聞いたこととはあると思うんですけどね。
The awareness of Japanese and Korean cuisines is directly reflected in the number of restaurants representing each cuisine. A simple internet search reveals that there are many Japanese restaurants scattered across New York. In comparison, the number of Korean restaurants is significantly less. Moreover, Korean restaurants are crowded on 32nd Street, making accessibility a big issue.
I never have eaten anywhere except this area.
자주 오시는 편이세요? 아니요. 자주는 안 오세요? 네. 왜 그렇죠?
좀 멀어요, 일하는 곳하고.
You know, 32nd Street is great, but the really good stuff is in Flushing, and that's like an hour away on a subway, or Fort Lee, where you need almost a car to access it. So things like that. I think accessibility is a real deterrent for enjoying the food.
In New York, accessibility is a crucial factor. Busy New Yorkers are eager to have their meals as quickly as possible, and they frequent delis for fast takeout. Delis give them the freedom to choose from a variety of ready-to-eat meals.
I'm very busy all the time, which is why I like to be able to come in here, buy what I like, and leave very quickly.
So do you bring the food to your office usually?
Yes, I take it back to my office.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy it.
It is virtually impossible to drive down to 32nd Street just to eat Korean food. So instead of having the customers come to the food, a special truck brings the food to the customers. It's the Kimchi Taco truck. People begin lining up even before the service begins.
I follow their website, but they also are on Twitter. Yeah.
It's very easy to find.
Yes.
Do you have another pan that can fit?
Korean immigrant Philip Lee is the owner of Kimchi Taco.
And growing up in the United States, we have the luxury of looking at, growing up with both cuisines, both the American cuisine and both the Korean cuisine. And that's where we kind of blend the two flavors together.
Kimchi Taco fuses Korean and American tastes. One of its major ingredients is bulgogi, Korean-style marinated beef. Bulgogi is already a well-known delicacy among Americans. Added to bulgogi is kimchi to give it a bolder flavor.
When you talk about Korean food, you talk about kimchi, but you also talk about Korean barbecue. I think those are the two things that people really are familiar with when they talk about Korean food. And to combine the word kimchi and tacos, I think was a good combination. People seem to really love it. The flavors work. Using the bold flavors of Mexico in the pico de gallos, but also complementing that with the bold flavors of Korea in the kimchi.
The newly created kimchi taco successfully won the hearts and taste buds of New Yorkers.
If you guys want to split it. Okay. Oh, I think it's fantastic.
Why?
Because you can't get this food in Midtown.
In Midtown?
Yeah, you have to go to Koreatown downtown.
So that's not convenient for you?
Not for lunch.
We need something that's good and that's quick and that's different and that you can eat and enjoy either outside or you can just bring it back to your office and eat it. So it's very, very convenient.
How are you? I get a kimchi taco to the beef, pork, and chicken. Pork kimchi bowl.
2 beef, 1 chicken.
And a rice cake.
Kimchi taco wraps up classic Korean favorites in a form that is familiar to Americans. Its marketability is infinite.
And our audience is not really the Korean Americans that are here. It's really everybody, the Americans that live here as well as the Korean Americans. And we really try to target the entire New York City audience.
The addictive taste and speedy convenience have lured the New Yorkers to kimchi taco. Moreover, the growing fan base is bringing even more customers to the counter.
Very good. This is my first time. I judge the success of the folks on the street here, the street vendors, by the length of the line. And you see this line here, so you know the food's good.
We have to remember that people only have 1 hour to eat for lunch, especially during lunchtime. It's a very pressured situation because waiting online for 30 minutes and trying to get the food for another 20 minutes, and it's hard. But people choose to wait. We don't force them.
Kimchi taco is now the treasure of the neighborhood.
I feel good that people like our product, but I also want to make sure that they get a quality product and we don't rush everything, and then we get a good quality item. 59 out there?
Kimchi taco has already received a lot of media attention. It is an advertising campaign on wheels for Korean culture.
Food trucks have become a major phenomenon here. There are Korean food trucks, and that's another way for people to be introduced in a very easy way to Korean food. And then when people experiment and have delicious tastes, then they want to have more.
That's what opened the door to let me try this, which now I can come back and try even more things, be more open to different Korean fare.
Hey guys, we did a great job! Yay! So it's a long day, it's a difficult one, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding, and it all goes back to what we talked about in terms of trying to, every day we introduce new Korean food to someone that didn't know what kimchi was or didn't know what, marinated beef was. We feel good about it. So, understanding that we have a bigger mission, not only to just make money or run a business, but to introduce Korean food, we feel really good.
And thus, Korean food is becoming a more common sight for Americans. Every night, New Yorkers gather outside looking for a good restaurant. Among the myriad of options available, one Korean restaurant has begun capturing an increasing amount of attention. Located away from 32nd Street for a change, Danji becomes crowded every evening. There aren't very many Korean customers in the house. Danji has been in business for only 2 months. It does not have a classic Korean atmosphere, but there are traces of traditional Korean style tucked into its corners. Danji is run by second-generation Korean Hooni Kim. As both the owner and the chef of the restaurant, Kim holds himself accountable for every aspect of his restaurant's operations.
For a small restaurant, it's still a big financial, an obligation. So we'll see.
He gauges responses to his menu and develops new dishes. His biggest concern is buying the right ingredients.
Pea soup, I might change it a little bit. I might add sesame seeds. And if we do add sesame, that's a big deal because sesame people are allergic to. Okay? If you look around the world, the best restaurants are chef-owned and chef-run. And that's just basically because the most important thing about a restaurant is the food. A lot of other things are important too, like service, decor, but it is the food that brings people in. And when a chef owns the restaurant, it's his reputation, it's his dignity, it's his honor that's in the face of the restaurant. So it is very rare where he will serve food that he does not think is deserving of his name. Service starts at, the food comes out at 6 o'clock, now it's 5:39. They have 21 minutes to prepare, and this is the most stressful 21 minutes of their... Yeah, probably.
The chef's orders are delivered promptly down the line.
The chef is toying with the idea about adding some sesame seeds to it. Sujun Kwa is back on the wine list, is back on the drinks list.
The seats begin to fill as soon as the business starts.
Calamari is excellent, great.
The kitchen leaps into action.
As soon as you plate that kimchi tofu, can you go with a salad? Help him with the calamari. Fire me 2 calamari. Dan, you're giving me bulgogi sliders, right? Yeah. Cindy, pancake right after that, okay? I'm gonna give you the pork first, right? Whoa, Cindy, way too big. Way too much. Give me the bowl. Give me a new bowl. Too much. Portion size is also very important. Definitely in a successful kitchen, there's almost a military hierarchy. The term chef is French. It's basically responsible for the military aspect of a unit, the family aspect of a unit. It is the top figure in every regard. And that is how a French restaurant is run. Everything, whether it's waiters, front of the house, back of the house, everything comes to the chef. So the chef has no excuse. He is responsible for every aspect of the restaurant. And he can delegate, but he is the one responsible. And I think that is important. I think one person should be responsible for everything that goes on in the kitchen.
Most Korean restaurants do not have a responsible head chef like Hooni Kim.
65 and 67.
Yes, the egg and the sesame is sort of separated. Pine nuts are cut up. The pears are cut into batons. And this is a typical New York looking plate, but it is a Korean dish.
There's a reason why Kim is so passionate about developing Korean food that New Yorkers are comfortable with.
I was born in Korea, my parents are Korean, and I have a Korean heritage, but I grew up in New York. So I wanted to sort of create dishes that I was comfortable eating, that my friends were comfortable eating. So even though the flavors are very Korean, the presentation, the portions, the look, the feel of everything is more, I think, New York than traditional Korean.
Sliders, which are Korean-style stir-fried meat in bread, are Tanji's specialty and the best-selling item on the menu.
Bar 6.
Bar 6, thank you.
The customers are enchanted by the fusion of the East and the West.
It's excellent. Even though it's not a Korean per se food, what's inside is Korean. So the beef, the way it's prepared is Korean, but the way it's presented is American. The food is good. The wine is good. The manager is good. What else? What else can I say?
Last April, for 6 weeks, a special project sought to grab the attention of New Yorkers and focus it on Korean food. A food truck roamed the streets, introducing Korean food to passerbys. Today's special is bibimbap. The main objective is to get as many people as possible to experience Korean food for themselves.
한식이 한국의 위상에 대해서 아직까지 많이 알려지지 않고 특히 체험되지 않은 부분이 많습니다. 그래서 가능하면 많은 분들, 특히 현지에 계신 많은 분들이 많이 드셔보시고 얼마나 매력적인 음식인지를 우선 아는 게 중요하다고 생각합니다.
Although there were initial concerns that the dish would be too spicy, the reception was much more positive than expected. The New York-style bibimbap was created by chef Jennifer Meng, a second-generation immigrant.
New Yorkers are very adventurous eaters, and everyone's looking for something new. There are so many restaurants in New York City, all different restaurants opening so fast and so often that everyone's open to new dishes and willing to try, and the response is actually great.
Along with the food, DVDs on Korean home cooking were also given out.
We have a Mother's Day gift for you.
Thank you. Do you want a water too?
So maybe this DVD will be helpful for you to adventure.
I'm sure if it's got recipes that are easy to follow.
After the truck finished its rounds, Meng held a bibimbap demonstration for American power bloggers.
Jennifer, what do you have today?
We're making bibimbap. I'm going to showcase how to make really simple bibimbap.
The bibimbap demonstration began amidst a buzz of interest.
It's a little rounder and slightly shorter. Make it super easy.
Meng not only demonstrated how to make bibimbap, but also explained the history and the background of this classic Korean dish.
So Korean New Year's Day is very similar to Thanksgiving here. We prepare a lot of food. It's a big, big holiday. And the next day, I guess the New Year's Day, you wake up and you have all this leftover food, like your leftover turkey, and you make turkey sandwich. And we don't make turkey sandwich, we make bibimbap. You're basically dumping all these ingredients, vegetables, over the rice.
The Chinese have noodles for their birthdays, but Koreans have seaweed soup. Why is that?
And the seaweed actually is good for your to clean out your blood system. So that's what we usually serve it as, and also it's what we call birthday soup. So you have Korean barbecue, you have some rice.
Labor intensive. Do you porridge?
Coordinate them, like I said before.
The demonstration stimulated the curiosity of the audience and opened an easy route for New Yorkers to experience bibimbap.
Given some seaweed, dry seaweed as garnish, and it makes your perfect summertime bibimbap.
How did they feel about the presentation?
They've all been wonderful and I've learned a lot. It's been great.
We just want recipes, and we want them to come to our house and cook for us.
It looks not that complicated, isn't it?
No, I could do it. Even I could do it.
I'm really interested in some of like the cultural significance or health significance of Asian food. So I feel like all these presentations have helped me learn more about that.
It's a great opportunity to talk about the history of food instead of just serving it and telling them what this dish is called. It gives me an opportunity to talk about how that dish came about and how we eat it and of course how we can make it.
Burlington, Massachusetts lies 4 hours away from New York. We visited Jeff, a lawyer who enjoys home-cooked Korean food. Jeff was busy in the kitchen making bibimbap for his family. He says that one book was responsible for helping him attempt Korean food on his own.
I said, this looks like a terrific book. I've got to make these recipes, especially when you look through it, the pictures are very enticing. So.
The dorsot, a stone bowl, is crucial for making a good dorsot bibimbap. But most families do not have stone bowls on hand. The cookbook offers a solution. The dorsot can be substituted with a common cast iron pan.
Well, this is American. It's a very old, traditional kind of American cookery, but yeah.
Rice is pressed down into the pan, and the ingredients are placed on top to create a slightly adapted dorsot bibimbap.
Combination of the vegetables, the rice, the egg, and the meat. To me, it's a unique dish because it combines, in addition to the rice has a starchy, crispy taste.
Jeff's bibimbap is finally complete.
He knows just what he's doing.
American foods are not usually mixed, but Jeff deftly mixes his bibimbap and serves it to his wife and son.
Do I put that on the side or?
His family watches the food with curiosity. They are served with an interesting meal thanks to Jeff's hobby.
If you cook it.
How will they respond?
I couldn't live without him, is what I would say. I couldn't have a really good dinner without him.
Here's the Korean cuisine.
Korean food can now be prepared easily in American homes. We wanted to meet the author of the cookbook, which has made it easy for people to cook Korean food with American utensils and ingredients. Our next stop, Lexington, Massachusetts.
Hi.
Here, we met Deborah Samuels, the author of The Korean Table.
Hi, Joyce. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay.
Deborah Samuels and her husband lived in Japan 30 years ago. It was there that she met and instantly fell in love with Korean food. She traveled all over Korea to experience Korean food up close and finally decided to introduce the cuisine to America.
It was just a cuisine that was very different than any other Asian cuisine that I had. Very exciting, very robust. It was my intention to create authentic Korean meals that Americans could do in their kitchen without a lot of, a huge amount of preparation.
I don't have a Korean mother, but I have a lot of Korean.
Once a month, Samuels opens a cooking class for people interested in Korean cuisine. Today, the menu is sundubu, or soft tofu, japchae, a stir-fried noodle dish, and kimchi.
Okay. Sesame seeds and sesame oil. This is the product of sesame. These are roasted sesame seeds. It is very, very spicy. There you go. She likes spicy. Okay.
The women are curious about how to prepare unique and wholesome food for their families.
I moved here from California recently. It's fun. I love Korean cooking. I've always gone out to eat it. I've never really known how to make it. Now I do.
Excellent, excellent. Look at all the color. We often look at nutrients, and by the color that they add to the food, and you can see a great variety of the fresh vegetables and the bright colors. So very nutritious meal we're preparing here.
They try their hand at making kimchi. Samuels chooses to teach the women an easy and fun way to make kimchi rather than the complicated traditional method.
I'd like you to massage that in there.
Kimchi is prepared in the blink of an eye.
So now what we're going to do is take this very traditional piece of Korean equipment, the plastic bag, okay, this.
Deborah goes on to explain how to store the kimchi.
And turn
Her
it
principle is
up
to
like
stay
this.
true to the original
Try
Korean flavors
not-
while
you
making
don't
the
wanna go
cooking
too
easy.
far up. Now it just stays on the counter for one day. And then the next day it goes in a jar and in the refrigerator. If I give people too many different ingredients that they can't do, they'll never try the recipe. They'll just turn the page. So that is very important. Do you see
Next
how we're
up
starting
is
to change?
japchae, also made in a simple way. The methods are adapted for beginners, but the original sequence of stir-frying vegetables and mixing them in is the same. The foods are prepared in a flash. A large table is soon filled with mouth-watering Korean dishes. But this isn't the end. Samuels describes in detail how each food should be eaten.
Of the bulgogi in here. And so you take the leeks and you put it in here with a little bit of sauce. If you want to have the garlic, it's okay. A little bit of soup on the side and eat it with that. Yes.
Eating Korean food the Korean way. Samuel says that these two factors are crucial to bringing Korean food to dinner tables all over the world.
You like that? Good? Okay.
For her students, everything about Korean food is different and fascinating.
It's almost elegant. It's really nice.
I think maybe the information about how the different ingredients are cooked separately and then added together at the end rather than fixing them like a big stew. It's elaborate cooking, but I think the end result is worth it.
So everything is interesting because this is my first time to learn Korean food.
Perfect.
You can find the Korean red pepper flakes on the shelf or the Korean paste. But if you don't know what to do with them, you're lost. So accessibility is not just the key. So I've always felt it's very important for companies, if they're going to put their product on the shelf in a general market, they need to have really good recipes. The leap to then making it in your own kitchen is when the change takes place for it to become more a part of, every day.
The movement to raise the global awareness of Korean food is expanding in scale and diversity. Amid this trend, we found another man devoted to introducing Korea's food culture to Americans. Cycling through the streets of New York on his way to work is Charles Pinsky, a master of documentary films. As soon as he arrives at work, Pinsky begins a meeting with his staff.
Did you decide on what you want to use to represent traditional Korean? You're moving forward. Let's see.
Pinsky is a 6-time winner of the James Beard Award, the best award of the culinary world. His 2008 food documentary, Spain, On the Road Again, contributed to a 30% spike in the number of tourists visiting Spain.
My company has specialized for over 20 years in shooting food around the world that Americans were interested in. And for a long time it was France, and then it became France, and then it became Italy and France, and then it became Spain.
Pinsky is considered the world's best food documentary director. 2 years ago, he planned and filmed a documentary on Korean food culture.
We use food as a vehicle to look at culture in general, and I think Korean food's fabulous for that because all the ingenious, clever things unique things about Korean food, the resistance to anything from their neighbors, et cetera, the individuality, the eating cold soups in cold months and warm soups. You know, Koreans do things their own way, and it makes for a fabulous, fabulous TV series.
The 13-part Kimchi Chronicles began airing on America's public broadcasting channel on May 8th. It has captured Americans with its display of Korea's appetizing foods and breathtaking natural sceneries.
Every single Western person who has seen it to me says, the food looks so good, I'm so hungry, I absolutely can't wait to go eat Korean. It's going to turn people on to a kind of food that they may not have access to, but if they watch the show, if they buy the book, if they go on the website, they can literally make it in their houses.
Pinsky recruited star chef Jean Georges Vongerichten and his half-Korean wife Marja to travel in Korea and experience traditional Korean cuisine.
The last year kimchi? Yes. On the seaweed? Seaweed. Wow, look at that.
Oh, 뜨겁다.
Yes. Wow.
And seaweed together.
Korean foods are reinterpreted and reborn in the couple's hands.
Boiled, steamed Korean cooking, I find the heat.
Kimchi Chronicles follows the two chefs' experiences in Korea. During the filming crew's long stay in Korea, Pinsky admits that he himself became an avid fan of the cuisine.
If you eat hamburgers, if you eat chicken, if you eat pizza, if you eat sandwiches, you get tired of it. The thing about Korean food is you never get tired of it. The more you eat of it, the more you want. And I think Korean people really feel that way and need their Korean food. And it's interesting, in a month's time, the entire American crew, although we were fortunately a crew maybe of half Americans and half Koreans, became completely addicted to the Korean food. And in fact, we eat a lot of Korean food here. I had Korean food, I had bulgogi for breakfast.
We wanted to meet the protagonists of Kimchi Chronicles for ourselves. On a Saturday afternoon, we visited Jean Georges and Marja at their New York house.
How are you?
Hi, how are you? Yes.
The staff was greeted with a big smile from Marja. She was busy making Korean pancakes. Marja was born to a Korean mother and an American father. She was adopted by an American family at the age of 3. 20 years later, she was reunited with her birth mother and had her first encounter with Korean food. Now, cooking Korean food with her mother has become a part of her daily life.
맛있다.
And then I went to Korea after I found my mother for the first time, and she got me a banana uyu. I hadn't had banana uyu since I was 3, so when I had that, all this flood of taste came back, and I'm addicted to it. It was my first solid connection to know I had a connection to Korea because of the food.
Marja uses traditional Korean ingredients for her dishes.
The secret of the sauce is bokbunja. It's Korean raspberry wine. Yeah.
When the food is nearly ready, Jean Georges arrives home. He walks in carrying a box filled with ingredients for his newest creations. A chef with 3 stars in the world-famous Michelin Guide, Jean Georges is praised by food critics worldwide and runs 25 restaurants globally.
You know, when I met Marja, it was really my first, I was very comfortable with lemongrass, with Thai food and things like that, but never been exposed to Korean food before. So when I met Marja, I really, she introduced me to Korea, we went to visit the family there. So once you start eating it, you can stop. You're craving for it. It's kind of a food that once you have it once, you can never forget the flavor. It's very deep, very balanced. The sour, the sweetness, the spiciness, and it's something once you have it once, you remember it when your body wants it.
Right.
You crave for it.
Right.
That's what I started putting a little bit in my food too.
For having us.
He boasts about his experiences in Korea.
I went diving with those ladies in
Jeju-do.
We had some sailor chain, but then they got some sea cucumber. They make me eat the intestine. I mean, I almost. I was long like this.
Did they give it to you raw?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a smooth road from the start.
Because the first time Marja and I moved together, I came home one night, I opened the fridge, I closed it right away. I said, "What happened?" I saw somebody die in the fridge. It smelled so strong, garlic and the cabbage smell. I was like, I had no idea what it was.
He thought it was bad. But now you can't eat it if it's not fermented.
No.
He has to have shin kimchi.
We actually one of our restaurants, we have a hot dog at Mercer. Instead of to put some, like sauerkraut, we put some kimchi relish on top of the hot dog.
Jean Georges especially enjoys Korean wraps. He says that there's something familiar about eating hand-wrapped food and that eating becomes a fun activity.
We've been together 12 years this year, so he's been over a decade of eating Korean food.
Well trained by Marja. It takes time, like everything else. Like every culture takes time for people to understand. And the more show on TV, the more
exposure.
And today, I think with online, everything is online. Between Twitter, blog, the social media, I think the popularization of Korean food is going to be made by itself. It's already popular.
New York's interest in Asian food is generally on the rise. Today, the streets are filled with visitors of the Lucky Rice Asian Food Festival.
Oh, I heard about the excellent food here, so we're just really excited to just go around and try. We love Asian food, so it's exciting to have all these great chefs and all these different kind of chains and stuff, the trucks, under one area.
The one-week Asian Food Festival is filled with adventurous New Yorkers looking for something original, something fresh. The Lucky Rice Festival has an atmosphere that's not unlike large-scale cooking contests in Asia. This year, Korean cuisine is making its debut at the festival. To one side, two food trucks appear. The trucks belong to Philip Lee's Kimchi Taco team and Hooni Kim, the creator of Danji's famous sliders. Hooni has brought his restaurant's best-selling menu, the sliders.
We had to prepare 2,000 sliders for today because that's the amount of people that there will be here. So we hope that everybody here gets to taste at least one slider.
Dinner time approaches, and more people stop by. How are they enjoying their first taste of Korean food?
Very good.
Very good. Oh, it's so good.
Danji and Kimchi Taco both succeeded in delighting the festival's visitors.
Very good. From the Kimchi Taco.
Words about the Korean food trucks spread quickly, drawing in larger crowds to the trucks. What is their secret to attracting New Yorkers?
Really good. It's like a party in my mouth.
It's something that the American public doesn't know a lot about.
And I think once people catch on outside the norm, it's going to be great. I mean, it really will go beyond the cities.
All 2,000 servings sold in 4 hours. Unbelievable.
All right, guys, that's it. It's a wrap. Let's break down. We know the Korean food is good. You know, that's something everybody who's had Korean food knows Korean food is good. The purpose of this was having people come and try Korean food who've never had it before. And I think that was successful as well. We've stayed open later than anybody else. We've fed more people. Our truck has fed more people than any other stand, any other truck at this event. And that was our goal.
Korean food is gradually captivating the taste of a world seeking new foods and new adventures. Efforts are being made to reach beyond the few well-known Korean dishes. With innovative marketing strategies and specialized services, Korean food is embedding itself into the everyday lives of people all over the world. Slowly but steadily, Korean food's ambitious plan to capture the hearts of the world is moving forward one step at a time.